What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Offside Chat. Obviously, you know who it is. It's your and only Naber. I'm joined here with Edward and Naeem. What's going on, people? How are you today?
All blessed, man. All blessed. Looking for quite international weekend, isn't it? So relatively missing the Premier League. So yeah,
Yeah, like
Exactly.
what
we'll have a
Naeem
chat.
said, man, it's been a slow football week. So hopefully this upcoming week we get some good news, some fitness news from some of our players that are out injured, and yeah, man, hopefully we smash Forest. So yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to another
No,
night in meets with you guys.
no, definitely. I know, obviously, for all football supporters right now, it's quite a tense moment. If it's not an international tournament, you are always worried about your players going away on international duty. Just keeping an eye to make sure that they don't get injured. So yeah, it is a tense moment, and that's why on the offside chat today. No, before we actually go on, please subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe to the channel, and we are actually got the podcast recording. So if you don't want to see our handsome faces, Edward, where can we find this?
You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and yeah, wherever you can get your podcast. So, like I said, guys, like my brother Nob said, please like, subscribe, share, run up the likes, man. Much appreciated.
There we go. Right, we're going to do something a bit different now today because it is international duty. Are we going to talk about the international games? No, we did
Nope.
something while we were on radio a lot, and we used to do our top five series. We have done it all, but we wanted to bring it back because obviously now on YouTube, we've got new viewers, new followers, and you get a chance to interact with us. So today, the guys were a bit upset with me because they said I kind of blindsided them with this.
Nasty
But,
guy. Yeah.
but these guys are
Hospital pass it was as well.
here we
Bro,
go.
hospital pass, man.
Top five Premier League strikers of all time. This is just our opinions,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Don't
know,
shoot us, man. Don't shoot us.
yeah, you could get it wrong. You can think maybe who else should be in there. So I just think this is good because I think it's kind of changing. I think you've got the usual suspects in there, but I think it's changing. Right, I'm gonna go first.
Of course.
um,
There we go.
for me, this guy is the greatest Premier League striker, and that is Thierry Henry. Not because the amount of goals he scored, which was phenomenal. However, I do look at that and think if he played as long as Shearer or more seasons in the Premier League, he would definitely be the all-time scorer. I think he would have, yeah, he would have caught up with about. I think is it 60 off? No, it's actually about 40 off, isn't it, Shearer? Shearer's on 260.
Yeah.
No,
Probably
it's
no.
almost
Henry's got 175. I think it was.
177. So
Was
yeah, it's about
so longer
it's a,
than that.
it's a few off. Yeah, it's a few off.
Yeah,
About
but I think if he continued to play,
70, 80 odd. Yeah.
It's a couple
yeah,
of hundred games difference. Though. I think it's about 180
Yeah.
games more Shearer played. So
exactly. So look, I don't really need to look. You know, is he the greatest Premier League player of all time? I think he is a lot of people's best Premier League player of all time. In terms of strikers, the reason why he's very different to the rest, maybe one or two of my top five, is because usually with a striker, they're not usually the best player in the team. You know, you've got maverick wingers, maverick midfield players that make the magic happen, that actually serve the striker. You know, there's times when you said, look, the striker's just been locked down today. He's been marked out of the game. He hasn't had a lot of service. These are the excuses that we use, though, isn't it, with strikers? That's the excuse I used to use if I didn't score. Look, I'm not getting enough service. What's going on? There's not enough creativity. The difference with Thierry Henry, not only did he bag 4 golden boots, but you couldn't stop him. It didn't matter if Pires gave him the ball or if Bergkamp gave him the ball or there was chances. He will create his own chance. If he's not dribbling from the edge of his area on a North London derby, his array of goals is just phenomenal. Like, as Arteta said that when he played with him, he said it just kind of felt like he was just on another level, like it was a grown up playing with kids. And this is something that I've heard many times before from other professionals. And to say that, look, there's what percentage of people actually make it to play in the Premier League? And when you speak to the ex-professionals, look, Rio Ferdinand, he's never shy to kind of do a little slide dig to Arsenal. But he said, yeah, he's the best he's played against. John Terry, who doesn't say much, said that he used to have sleepless nights about him. So these are two of arguably the best centre backs. We will do this in another episode. So for me, undisputed number one, not only because of the goals he scored, the fact that the amount of goals he scored, and the fact that he didn't actually need service like the other strikers. He didn't matter. If you're not going to give me service, I'll just make things happen myself. And the fact that in one season he actually got the most goals and the most assists as well, which is crazy. So for me, undisputed number one. Edward.
Yeah, facts. You can't argue with that. Henry's number one. Everything you said is true. Another thing as well, he made a number that's not even a great number, iconic. 14. Now you see other players now coming into the league wearing 14. Isak wore 14 at Newcastle. Mateta wears 14 at Palace. Now, obviously, these guys can't really lace Henry's boots, but the fact that a number where it's not even really a 30 number like that, you know, he made it.
You know why he had the 14, right?
Because 12 was already Christopher Rea had 12.
Mad.
So it's a situation where even that number as well, that's not really a nice number, 12. He would have made that number iconic if he had got that number. So it's legacy. He's the greatest player we've ever seen on these shores. Like you said, it's the amount of goals he scored, different types of goals. I don't think there's one poor goal in his Arsenal, no pun intended. Even like the trademark slotted finish into the far corner. It's not particularly easy goal, but you know, he made the impossible possible. If you look at his collection of goals, like I said, not one dodgy goal, man. And for at least a 4 or 5 year stretch, unplayable, man. He'd win games on his own for Arsenal. Yeah, he'd have players defeated in the tunnel, like you said. Rio Ferdinand, John Terry. These are the two of the best defenders we've seen in England in the Premier League. And they're saying, man, he used to, you know, just sleepless nights. John Terry's on record saying sleepless nights. Like, and this is a defender everyone has, or most people has, as arguably the best ever in Premier League history. So, you know, like he gave us moments. The San Siro in the Champions League, the goal against Tottenham when he takes the ball from halfway line, runs through the defense, slots it. The goal to put us ahead against Liverpool in the 2004 season when, you know, it looked like we were about to lose the league. Just took, St. Carragher. Yeah, man. He just, there's not enough words to say about
and you
this
say
guy.
about goals as well, though, Ed, just to follow on before we go to Naeem, is the fact of the clubs that he scored goals against. You know, when whoever was the rival at that time, Henry never went missing in the big games in the Premier League. Like, you ask Manchester United, you know, we've got the goal where he flicked it up, volleyed it in, which is one of the best goals. You've got the goal in 2004. You know, you've got the goal in 2002 to win the league as well. Like, he always stepped up against the rivals as well. Never really went missing, to be fair. So, yeah, I second that. Naeem, you got to beat us with this one.
I mean, I've got all in agreement, isn't it? Obviously, with Thierry Henry. I think one of his biggest goals was the one in the Bernabeu. Was it the first to be in, I think Arsenal, the first English team to win at the Bernabeu as well, wasn't it?
Second leg.
Yeah, the second leg. Yeah, no English team had won at that stadium, isn't it? At that point. So that, you know, they talk about the big game. I mean, you talk about, I think his impact. You speak to anybody around world football, anyone of a certain age, they'll talk about Thierry Henry. The amount of some of the young players coming through, and you ask them who are the players you're looking up to. They all mention Thierry Henry. I think he changed the Arsenal's direction a lot, and it was mad to think that the planned pairing was Anelka and Henry, wasn't it, initially? And, you know, that would have been something different. So, I mean, there's not much else I can add to that. What you've both adequately said about Thierry Henry, I think he's the best player I've seen in this country. And I think one thing as well is we got to see his peak as well in parts in this league. And I think the biggest thing you can say is what other professionals say about you. You know, fans will always be biased, you know, historically, but it's when the pros that they play with say everything. And I think you made a point about Rio, about John Terry. You know, they said everything about it. You know, sleepless nights, says everything about best player, you know, best striker we've had. I think it's one of the only things one of the only few things that we all can agree that is number one. I'm sure the rest of the list may be slightly different, but yeah, 100%.
You're right. Okay, number two. I mean, it's top 5 anyway, but look, I had to say my number one. Number 2 in here is the man himself, Born in Tyneside, the one and only Alan Shearer. For me, phenomenal striker. His record still stands alone. 260, I believe, in Premier League goals, which is just insane. Just, when you look at English strikers and being the best England striker for that amount of time, he was just Mr. Goals. You kind of knew in the Premier League, early in the Premier League, if you signed Alan Shearer, you're probably going to guarantee winning the league. I think it's a good thing that he turned down Manchester United, because I think
Could you imagine
more than 13 for Sir Alex Ferguson in there, because it just would have been too easy for him. Headers, tap-ins, volleys, free kicks, such a strong, yeah. For me, you just knew Shearer. And even we look at his time at Newcastle, going back to his hometown club. Obviously, unfortunate for him, he didn't get to lift the trophy. But look, what he achieved at Blackburn Rovers was nothing but incredible. I know, obviously, Jack Walker pumped his money in. But at Blackburn Rovers, 138 games, 112 goals. And he led them to the 95, Premier League title. I mean, what more can you say to that? Blackburn Rovers, what done again. So phenomenal strike. Proper number 9. With you, and he was. What I liked about Shearer, he was an absolute nightmare to play against. He wasn't, Henry used to very, very different players, but on different planets, maybe technically. But one thing with Shearer is that he's finishing the array and the power in the shots.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he liked to rough it up as well. He had a burst of pace as well, but he used to love it. And he was playing in the era, you got to think about the defenders, this is, Adams and Pallister, Campbell, Colin Hendry, Shearer was, phenomenal. To get 260 is madness.
A couple of injuries as well, didn't he? Yeah, there's a couple of injuries, quite bad injuries.
Yeah, done his ACL.
Yeah.
So the most expensive player in the world at one time for 15 million when he went to Newcastle. But yeah, for me, he is the Premier League all-time goal scorer, and rightfully there. Edward,
I second that, man.
Okay.
You got to go number 2, all-time record scorer. Like you said, and any finish, he had it in his locker, man. Like just free kicks, long range headers, tap-ins, just that nose for goal, man. And yeah, listen, 260, and no one's even come close. So, and that record stood. When did he retire? 06? 2025 now. So you're looking at 19 years, and no one's even come close. There's players that have broken the 200 mark, but no one's even hit 250 yet. So that just lets you know what kind of time he was on. That lets you know what type of time he was on, man. And like Naomi said, to do it on a dodgy knee as well, man. That's older as well. He done his knee. I think he done his knee twice,
Yeah, and back in the day it was slightly different. That ACL.
That's a career ender back in the day. Like now, you can still have a somewhat of a career now, but back in the day, those were
they were
the worst type of injuries. That and your Achilles, you're finished. So for him to finish with 260 on a dodgy knee and a other host of injuries, nothing else I can say, man. Yeah.
You know what else, Ed? You mentioned something when you're talking about the 260 and obviously the ACL injuries, but this is someone, because I used to think, who is actually hungry for scoring goals, like in that selfish way, like I'm a striker, that's all I want to do. Because when you look at his career, he did win the Premier League in 95. Did he win anything else?
No, nothing.
Some players, the motivation is, I need to win things. Do you understand what I mean?
100%. I think he was just goals. And I think what maybe consoled him was the fact that he was scoring for Newcastle. I think if he'd gone to any other club, bar it Man United, if he'd left Blackburn and gone to like a Chelsea, I reckon he would have tried to win more things. He's thinking, I can score goals, but I'm not getting any younger. I don't know where I need to look back at my career, and one trophy is not enough. But I think because he was at Newcastle, he's from the area, homegrown lad, wearing the iconic number 9 shirt for them. Yeah, I think that was enough. Obviously, they got to a couple of finals, back-to-back FA Cup finals in 98 and 99. I think they made the Euro, 2004 Europa League. It was a UEFA Cup back then. I remember against Marseille. But in terms of, it wasn't like a trophy laden spell at Newcastle. It was just goal laden. But I think if he looks back at his career, I think the fact that he played for Newcastle, I think is more than enough for him.
And to be fair, look, people say, oh, he could have won more. But I remember watching that season, 94, 95, to win that Premier League against that Manchester United team at that time. And for you to do it at Blackburn Rovers, which just doesn't happen again. This is quite when people look back and look at Leicester, I know it's not the same because obviously Blackburn has spent a lot of money and invested a lot of money. But the fact that you could say, what we did here, lads, is very special, because you look at Blackburn now, nowhere close, and they haven't even come anywhere close to what they achieved there. And he's probably their greatest signing of all time, because Jack Walker spent the money. You got him from Southampton, and look, he just delivered the Premier League title. So yeah, I second you with that. Naeem, you're number 2.
I don't want to make it boring and agree with both of you, but I think I might have to. I mean, both spoken really highly. The only other one I thought, and it was probably he sits at number 3 for me, is probably Wayne Rooney. In terms of,
what one is this? Is this your number 2? Or?
There's my number 3. I'm number 3 because number 2, we're all holding hands on this. In that respect, in terms of everyone's agreed 1 and 2 is who they are, Shearer and Henry. So there's not much else I can add about Shearer. But so I think I'm just going to flip to number 3. If that makes sense. I mean, Shearer, look, I mean, he carried England a lot as well. Let's be fair. Up top, great strike. I do think. Thankfully, he didn't go to United, but yeah, I think in the back of his head, he does think he could have gone to United and gone to Newcastle afterwards. He could have still done that in that aspect. He would have won a bit more trophies. But I'm going to flip to number 3 and I'll say Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
I think.
I mean, you are jumping queue, but I mean that's standard from a man like.
Well,
But anyway, that's fine.
Yeah. Rather than comment on that, but yeah, I think I'll elegantly say this. That's unacceptable. Wayne Rooney. I think longevity is one part of it, right? He came on as a 17-year-old, score hat trick in his I know it was Champions League, but hit the league running obviously with Everton, went to Man United. The pressure of being, how much was he? 30 million or something crazy at that time.
He's 25 million at the time.
25 million. He was 17 or something at that time as well. If you think about,
he was 19 when he went to United. Yeah,
19 was he went to United. Yeah, so still a kid at that with all eyes on him. And I think when he first landed there, he just he took it on the stride to play for Man United at that time as well. They weren't what the team that they are now. What he delivered, I mean, he scored over 200 goals in the league, over 100 assists. Played in any position that the team wanted. Wasn't the best player whenever he was in that team. He had Ronaldo. He always had other players that always put ahead of him in certain respects. Even Van Nistelrooy, but man just delivered left, right, center consistently every season. Played for injury. And his natural ability, he scored all the types of goals as well. Yeah, I've got to put Wayne Rooney there, number 3.
I think, yeah, I would agree with you, Naeem, with Wayne Rooney in the top 3 for me. I just think there's not many players. I'm talking about domestically as well. No, actually, let me talk about on the European stage. Maybe I'll park the international football for. But no, actually, there's not many players or young players that come on the scene. It's always the next this one, the next R9, the next Bobby Charlton, the next Alan Shearer. Wayne Rooney did exactly what it said on the tin. At 18, he came in with the reputation of, being a legend in youth football. I don't think I've ever watched a game and thought, yeah, this guy looks a bit nervous. He just takes the game by the scruff of the neck. He was like that annoying kid when you were an adult that just used to play and was just that good, and he just enjoyed embarrassing you. He could match up physically, technically was incredible. You're right. You moved to Manchester United. At Everton, he was just the best player there already. You move to Manchester United, you're injured, and then your debut, you get a hat-trick in the Champions League. And it weren't no cheap hat-trick. Well,
yeah.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Sealed it with a free kick. He scored his hat-trick with a free kick.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I think he opened it up with a free kick, didn't he?
No, I think the hat-trick was the free kick, wasn't it? But
yeah, either way, bad boy.
Fantastic hat-trick to score. But on top of that, it was the array of goals, like I mentioned with Henry. We're talking about free kicks, volleys, scoring from the halfway line against West Ham. You're playing for Manchester United. You're probably under the most pressure in English football to continue lifting trophies. And it wasn't trophy ladder when he first came. You know,
Mhm.
Chelsea done
Yeah.
their stuff, you know, back to back. You're thinking, but they put the faith. Alex Ferguson, he put the faith in Wayne Rooney. I remember they were like, look, Chelsea buying everyone. He goes, listen, Rooney, Ronaldo will come good. And I think they bought Carrick. And then after that, a hat-trick of
It was a
Premier
wrap. It was a wrap. Yeah.
And everyone says, you know, look, Cristiano Ronaldo was phenomenal. But you're talking about when you choose a player that you want to play for you, has to be Wayne Rooney, because he will be the best player in whatever position the manager puts him in. That is actually quite scary here, because this is the sort of thing I would talk about Steven Gerrard with. But this is actually a striker. If you play him as a centre forward, phenomenal. Who'll play on the left? Who'll play on the right? He can sit deep in midfield as well. Pick a pass. And lastly, I'll say, look, like I said at the beginning of this monologue of praise for Wayne Rooney, is he came through the Everton ranks, a legend in youth football, went to play for arguably the biggest club in the world, won 5 Premier League titles, I think, with Manchester United. I think Ferdinand's got 6, so he won 5 Premier League titles, 2 back-to-back. The top goal scorer in Manchester United's history. Not an out-and-out striker, by the way, remember, lads. This is not like someone like Van Nistelrooy or like this is just, or Andy Cole. This is somebody who technically can box it with the midfield players as well if you want, to be the highest ever goal scorer for Manchester United. And I know he didn't do it on the tournaments apart from Euro 2004. So obviously that's not great that he, you know, he only performed there. Injury, I understand. But the fact that he finished Manchester United's highest goal scorer and England's highest goal scorer. When you're a little boy and you have a dream about being a professional football player, you do think about that accolade. You'll be lucky to win a cup.
Yeah.
This guy won 5 league titles. 5 league titles. Highest ever goal scorer in Manchester United's history and the highest goal scorer in England's history. Judge me as you want, but history will never forget this, man. So Wayne Rooney, top 3. And he's not even an out-and-out striker. No. So, yeah, for me. Edward.
I'm not going Wayne. Wayne's my guy, but I think...
Love this now. Loved it. This is it now.
It's a nasty one because he played for the opposition, but it's Harry. Yeah.
Okay.
Harry Kane might be top 3, you know. Listen,
I hear it.
He was on dirt, man. He was on absolute dirt. If you look at it, okay, when we're talking about, is there another player like Shearer? Is Harry Kane in terms of just hungry for goals? Harry Kane would take a goal off his mum. Yeah. He would take a goal off his nan. That's how hungry he was for goals. I remember there was a goal scored, and I think there was a debate of who got the goal. He's like, yeah, it come off my shin. And I was like, oh, I think it come off like some weird body part. It come off in me. And he was like, no, it was my goal. It was my goal. Like, relax. Like, are you getting like 20 grand a goal? Like, I don't know what his financial setup was at Tottenham, but in terms of like sheer goals, you can't go past Harry Kane, man. I don't think technically he was up there with the likes of Rooney or your Henrys. No, like they were on a different plane, technically, I believe.
But technically, he was good though, man.
He improved a lot. No, I think he improved a lot year on year as a player.
But in terms of like just naturally gifted, or technically, I don't think he's up there with the Henrys, Rooneys. I just don't think that. But in terms of a striker, listen, modern day striker in this league, 213 goals, you know, in Premier League. I think he's second all time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's in that 320 period that he's goal per game record is ridiculous. Ridiculous,
man. And for that Tottenham team that were good at times, but they were never really the best team. But for that team to have that type of player, it means the world to them, man. Like they say, obviously, I know there's pictures of him with the Arsenal top. He was at the parade, obviously, for the 04 Invincibles, red hair, whatever. But he will tell you that he's Tottenham through and through. I don't quite believe it because he's seen the pictures and you're on our books. But he says it and they say, listen, you're one of our own, right? And he was loyal to a point. He could have gone ages ago, man. I know he tried to leave to go City the year before he went to Bayern or whatever. But he stayed through thick and thin, countless goals, man, and
You
some
know
of the
what's
finishes,
crazy
man.
about that, Edward? Yeah, and I'm gonna just ask you,
Go on.
just because you said about being loyal, and obviously there was that time he had golf with Gary Neville, which obviously he tried his
Yeah,
best.
he tried to leave. Yeah, he did try.
But you know what's so crazy about this is we've just come off the back of Alexander Isak, literally saying, "Look, I don't care what you do," and you just think to yourself, "I'm not. He hasn't done it." But if Harry Kane did this 6 years ago, what have you?
Yeah, or whatever.
How many
Yeah,
Premier League titles would he have? If he actually said, "I'm going Man City," so you know what, cool.
he'd
Because
have at least 2.
I
So
don't
I think
think.
no 4 because they signed Grealish that year. The year they didn't get him, they signed Grealish, and Grealish left with 4.
And then
So
obviously, then the next summer they went and got Haaland.
yeah,
But I look at that and think, what would have Spurs done? What you're just gonna let this? It's impossible. That's how much of a good guy he is, because it's impossible to say he's just gonna have to sit there.
no. I don't know if it's a situation about good guy. I'm not going to get into his character. I just think he didn't have the power to force the move, or maybe he just thought, you know what? At the end of the day, I love because I'm one of their own and I'm Tottenham through and through. It's harder for him to leave. Like with Isak, yes, he played for Newcastle, but there's not that sort of loyalty and love. He
He
wasn't a
hasn't
Newcastle
been
fan.
there.
It was more of a job for him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's why it's easy for him to throw his toys at the pram and try to force for a move. But back to Harry Kane, man. How many golden boots? I think 4 or 5 golden boots.
No, not 5. I think Henri's got 4. I think.
Oh,
got
sorry.
3.
I think he might have matched 3 or 4. Sorry, 3 or 4. But listen, there was a period in time where he was easily the best striker in the league. And in terms of his place amongst the greats in Europe, he could eye all of them. You know, your Benzemas, your Kane, your Benzemas, your Suarez's, your Lewandowski's. Yes, they're more trophy laden. They've got more accolades. But in terms of the sheer goals, like important goals and just putting your team on your back and scoring goals to get you out of trouble, scoring goals to equalize, scoring goals to put you ahead. Listen, and he crushed us a few times, man. That goal, I think when he had the mask on, I think he broke his nose. That goal at White Hart Lane, the old White Hart Lane, and he's bent it top corner, and he runs, take off his mask. Listen, even though he played for the Pagans and the Ops, listen, that was a real gunman, real gunman. So for me, I'm gonna go. It might be recency bias, but I'm gonna go Harry Kane 3rd.
You know what's so crazy about it? I was going to try to be controversial here, but you've not No, it would have been, because you've
It's not
kind of.
controversial though.
No, it's
It's
not.
No,
Because
no.
even before,
Because I was going to choose a particular player over Harry Kane, but then I have to be fair about it, because I was just going to go on what would he have done. Now he hasn't been. He definitely wasn't in the league as long. But the thing that's saving Harry Kane today in my top 5 is the fact that this player didn't play many games, or as many games as he did play for Tottenham. And I was going to choose. I know when it comes to him moving to La Liga, there's no 2 ways about it. And I think this is one of the greatest strikers I've ever seen in modern day football. And this was Luis Alberto Suarez.
I knew you were
Now, I was
Louis,
literally going to say
yeah.
to you, if you told me you can have prime Suarez or prime Kane, I would go for Luis Suarez, because look, however, because of time, and there's something else that I'm going to give this to Harry Kane. This is close. If it was anything to do with, look, he's gone to Barcelona, I don't even want to talk about Luis Suarez at Barcelona, because that was just ridiculous. But if I look at Liverpool, I know we got 69 goals and 110, which is fantastic. But again, this was a player who I was actually going to say I probably would. If you said, look, you got 100 million right now, and they're both in the Premier League, who are you going to go? Would you buy Harry Kane, or would you buy Luis Suarez? If he played that amount of games that Harry Kane played, I believe his goal scoring record would have been very, very similar. But I just think that he is overall just one of the greatest strikers I've ever seen. That is what I was going to go for. However, Ed, the amount of goals that Harry Kane has scored, playing for a lesser team as well. Yeah. I know, and I think you have to use context. My favorite word, my brother Ed. But playing for a lesser team at Spurs, always Mr. Reliable, scored in the big games. I know people say he didn't score in finals. Fair enough. But his international record as well, becoming the highest goal scorer for England, people will be like, oh yeah, but it's against Andorra and these, smaller nations. But no, bro, he's crashed out World Cups, man.
Yeah.
He's got a golden boot at World Cup. The last striker to get a golden boot at a World Cup was Gary Lineker in 1986.
Yeah, 86, yeah.
Don't chat to Harry, because we could talk. You want to talk World Cups, Euros?
If it's a goal thing, we can talk. If it's purely about goals, not what I've won or how good of a player I am, in terms of me doing my job, there's not many that can chat to me still.
About goals.
And that's why I put him in the top three. Because I just think,
and I know you actually said, Ed, that was poignant when you said that. Yeah, he'll steal a goal off his mum. Look, I didn't say that, Harry. This is what Ed said. I want to about people's mums. Yeah, he's on nastiness to about people's mums. You should know better, to be fair. But you say that, but in one season he actually got the golden boot and the most assists.
Yeah, you tried to do it on remember?
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen that done. And I used to think about Son at his best was with Harry, because Harry Kane will score all the goals and get golden boot, but he'll also drop into that midfield and that pass.
Yeah, the ping over the top to
very Son. Intelligent. So not just the fact that because people loved Sheringham, he's so intelligent. Harry Kane's like, listen, man, I'm winning golden boots as well. So your Shearer and Sheringham partnership, because one's really intelligent and gets into space and can find a pass, and the other, I'll just do both. So I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. But Luis Suarez, I know it's only 69 goals, but it's the 69 goals that I saw.
Yeah. I think
he's on that. I mean, he's
with Louis, I do believe that if he had stayed longer, there would have been an argument about who might have been the best player in the Premier League. He would have been edging in that conversation. Not just striker. It would have been, okay, cool. Your Henrys, your Ronaldos, then Louis would have been in there, like in terms of like who's the Premier League GOAT. If he stayed for maybe 2 or 3 more seasons and probably capped it off with a Premier League, then you're in that sort of like rarefied air talk. I really believe that too.
He would have won the league. He would have won the league at Liverpool if he had stayed longer in that. And then we saw the form we had. We saw at Barcelona, the way his trajectory was. He would have won the league.
But I'm glad he's gone. Nasty piece of work, man. Biting, 100%. Handballs and all them kind of behaviors there.
Get the biting, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you see him now? You see him
that Ghanaian thing, yeah. He's still doing it.
You see what he done the other day?
Yeah, in America, in the US.
Yeah. Come on, man. Louis,
Naeem.
Too much.
Yes, my man. That was my number 5, Luis Suarez. You all named my top 5.
Bro,
so Luis Suarez. Okay, no, that's fine.
Vaseline.
Well, listen, I know he's your 5.
Yeah, bro.
We're on 3 at the moment. So
we're flipped up because So we obviously
So now he's just thinking up his own thing, cutting people.
No, bro, I'm just quite good.
Who's your 4th?
No, because we're just jumping through Harry Kane.
Cutting people.
Harry Kane's your 4th.
Yeah, Kane, because it was between Kane and Rooney for me for 3 and 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and that the one reason is Spurs, isn't it? That didn't help me. That held him back a bit in that aspect. But Harry Kane, but for being objective, you could flip between the two of them. I think one thing I liked about Harry Kane was as a footballer was he improved as a footballer, didn't he? When he first came in the scene, he was scoring goals. He developed. Some of those balls he drilled across the ground. Like some of the through balls he played. I mean, really clever football player. Wasn't the quickest, but dominated most defenses. Caused Arsenal a lot of problems for a couple of years when when they were under Pochettino as well. So yeah, he has to be 4 or 3, but he was number 4 for me initially. I can see the between him and
3. So it's Henry,
Shearer, Rooney,
okay,
and then Kane, and then
Kane is your 4th.
4th, yeah.
Okay, right, interesting. Oh, now we're getting interesting. So Henry, Shearer, Harry Kane. As I was going to mention Suarez there. Right, so my 4th. This is a tough one, This is a real tough one.
I've got my 4th ready.
But, this is a tough one because But I'm gonna go with what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Sergio Aguero.
That's mine. I knew it. Yeah, I
Oh.
knew it.
This is number 4, yeah? This is number 4 for you.
That was my fourth. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Naeem, myself and Edward are doing it like 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. You lot just
Right.
5 tail.
No, you just took my numbers, innit?
He's on 10. Now he was 10 already, man.
I've got 17 for strikers.
I don't know what. Naeem's just doing his own thing, innit? So
See Naeem, you see, just lawless. You
Listen,
see the
back in the day when you're at a family party and then the kids go into one room and you decide to play Monopoly, but then the youngers they're just doing madness. Like he's not even just, and you have to tell mom, Naeem, you know what I mean? Like just get him out of here because he's just.
Yeah, you always be the one burning down.
Causing havoc on the roads.
Yeah, one of those cousins, man. That he's just doing his own thing, innit? Just
what I do. So I'm here for. But number 4, carry on.
Aguero. Now I'm gonna say he was close. I can't believe it. I was gonna put him in there, but when I think about a selfish, efficient striker, I was gonna put Ruud van Nistelrooy. However,
Ruud.
He was honestly Ruud.
Ruud was cold, but I'm not having.
He was cold.
Not top 5 though.
But exactly. No. But I looked at that. But then Aguero, he had the career that Ruud was supposed to have at Manchester United.
You reckon?
Yeah, in terms of when because when Ruud landed at Manchester United, he only won one Premier League title, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
So when you actually think about you're going to the best team, or they were on the peripheral of being the best team, he is like. Look, for Man City to get to where they needed to get to, you needed to rely on a striker who is going to be prolific. Because Ruud van Nistelrooy at Man United, Henry here, like you look through it all, you're thinking, they've all had their prolific strikers. And I watched him at Atletico Madrid. I didn't think he was going to do what he did here. Because I watched him for many years. I thought, this guy's a technical striker. Good.
I thought it was more of a 10, realistically. I didn't know he was he played as a 9, didn't he? But I think AJ played behind Torres.
Forlan used to do that.
Yeah, and Torres before then, wasn't it? It was the two of them, yeah.
But Tevez, when they signed Tevez, they thought, oh my God, we've got Tevez here. Aguero just came and said, listen, look, I'm the greatest striker that's ever played for Manchester City. I'm going to deliver you league titles and I'm going to be the Mr. Reliable. I'm the guy who you are going to choose my fantasy football. You will spend the money on me. If you want goals, I'm the guy that you go for. Forget everybody else. I'm the man. And I'm scoring all goals. I'm not tall. I'm not quick. But I am...
You're lethal. I'm lethal.
It shouldn't work. But it just did. He would just find space and the ball's in the back of the net. He's probably got one of the best right foot I've seen.
I do think the way he played perfect was for City, especially when Guardiola came in. As that sort of not a false nine. He's finishing, but his finishing was unbelievable. He was before. Underrated strength as well as a striker. Very strong because he wasn't the tallest, was he? He was what?
No, wasn't tallest.
Yeah, but
strong burst of pace. It's the right foot is one of the most lethal in Premier League history, man. He'll go top corner, tap-ins. Yeah. And at Man City at that time, they were spending the most. This was the club. Oh, let's see what you're going to do. Do you know what's so interesting? Because when Man United won it in 2013, I think Man City wanted to sign Van Persie, didn't they?
And
I remember Mancini saying, that's it, you've just given them the league here. And you're thinking, Van Persie goes to Man United, he's the best striker. Aguero was like, look, I get it. Henry, Van Persie, Shearer, these men, I hear what you're saying, but I'm here now. City fans, buckle up. It's time for dominance here, man. And he is up there, and he's given us probably the most dramatic Premier League finish of all time. That Aguero goal.
Aguero! Yeah.
And he used to crash it on the enemy.
Crash
it.
What? Yeah. If I could hire an assassin, I'm hiring Kun Aguero.
Listen.
Because what he used to do to Man United,
what he used to do to the rivals for Man United, Manchester City were probably Man United and Chelsea. He used to crash it on Chelsea. He used to
move to them. But then he used to move to us as well, man. So it wasn't even fair.
Everyone got it.
Yeah,
so,
everyone got smoked.
Yeah. So for me, I think arguably City's greatest ever player, but yeah, Sergio.
Hmm?
So number
Arguably,
Aguero's. Oh, okay, okay.
arguably
I think so.
the best player or just the greatest, because I think
Arguably, listen, City fans will look. I'm not a City
There's
fan.
multiple choice now, isn't it? They got
Yeah.
Torre, they got KDB, they got Aguero,
and
David Silva,
Yaya a period
I
of
think
time as
top
well.
three are probably gonna. I mean, they'll probably say Company, De Bruyne, and Sergio Aguero. I don't know
Because of the goals he scored, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know about
So he's
Company.
your
Well, in terms of the great, because you got to think about captain when he came
Yeah,
there,
okay,
he led. You know, he was one of the best. Yeah, obviously that's their romance story.
That's
me,
that's not for us to decide. But yeah,
it's statue time for Aguero outside. I think that's
100%. How he hasn't got one is beyond me.
Did he get 5 prems? Yeah, 5. Right?
Yeah, when did he leave?
5 or 6.
Let me double check that, man. I think he got 4.
Because he got the one with Mancini, isn't he?
No,
He got one with Mancini. He got Mancini, and then he was
he had one with Pellegrini.
Yeah, he got 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, mad.
Is he your number 4 though? Yeah, is he your number 4?
He's number 4. Edward, you're number 4.
Yeah, Kun Aguero, man.
Okay.
No more needs to be said. Just came in, helped revolutionize City. He's easily their best striker. 184 goals in the Premier League. That puts him, I think, either definitely top 10. I don't know if it's top 5, but it might be top 5. And yeah, man, listen. In the biggest games is when he stepped up. Like Norbert said, he crashed it on Man United regularly, crashed it on Chelsea, crashed it on Liverpool, crashed it on us, crashed it on Tottenham. I think he's got like maybe 67 or 68 goals against the top 6. Insane record, just insane. And this was a guy that, like Norbert said, and I think we all echo, when he was at Atletico, we knew he was good, but we didn't ever in our lives foresee this kind of dominance.
No.
And and he stayed for City for a long time. And South Americans, they sometimes get a bit bored. They might not acclimatize. He acclimatized, man. He came to Man City and said, you know what, this is my club, and stayed. And 5 Premier League titles later, 184 league goals, well over 200 in all comps. I think he's their highest ever goal scorer. So listen, he's a legend at the club, legend in the Premier League. Absolute bad boy.
Yeah, no, it's bad boy. Naeem,
I said Kane was number 4 for me.
Okay, Kane. No, but listen, that's fair.
And for me, look, all credit to Sergio Aguero. I mean, there's a lot of all the positives you said about him, and I won't say anything negative. I think for me, Kane's 4. I think he played in a worse team the whole period of time. What he delivered, he carried Spurs a lot for me. Where Kun Aguero, as great as he was, I will never doubt what he delivered and what his ability was. He also had arguably the best midfield behind him in a period of time. David Silva as well. You look at the players he had playing around him at that period. So you'd expect him to deliver, which it's not as easy said than done. But Harry Kane for me is number 4 for his whole body of work that assists, what he could do, and he was he was the best striker in the world for a period of time. And I can safely say that. So yeah, as much as he's played for Spurs as well, that great to be.
He was the best striker in the world.
At one period, Kane was the best striker in the world. Striker.
Yeah, I'm gonna challenge you on that. Was
Kane
better than Lewandowski?
Maybe at certain periods, yeah.
Lewandowski,
yeah. I mean, Lewandowski's been. No, don't get me wrong. I mean,
no. I'm not challenging. I'm just.
I'm going to say, yeah. Overall, as a striker, yeah, because I would say because he's played in weaker teams, carries the team a bit more. I think for what he does, so overall, especially playing up top by yourself, Lewandowski, not going to doubt, but that Bayern Munich team he was in, ridiculous, right? Even at Barcelona, he hasn't been hitting the same.
My email was about to say, because watch his Barca record, and the man is in his third,
he's not the numbers thing for Bayern, of course, right? But again, he's playing with some great players around. I just want to look. It's all about your favorite word, context.
Yeah, so I'm just challenging. Challenging, brother.
Yeah, 100%. But Kane is my number 4.
All right, we're going to number 5, and because I'm a gentleman, age or beauty before age on this one. Now, I mean, Edward, you're 5th. Eggs before. Eggs before.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's cool.
Top
Eggs
gun
with
so-
eggs.
top gun
Yeah,
in.
no.
It's got to be Wayne Rooney, man. Wayne Rooney.
Oh, that was your fifth. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So child prodigy, went to United, mashed the work at United, sacrificed his game a lot, but then when he moved into the middle after Ronaldo left, I think he got 2 seasons of 30 plus goals, all comps. Yeah, man. Like some of the goals we've seen, arguably some of the best in league history. My favourite is the one against Newcastle at Old Trafford, where I think he's been fouled. The ref didn't call it. He's talking to the ref. He's giving the ref a mouthful. He's just talking to him anyhow, recklessly. Could have got a yellow card. The ball comes over, smacks it from about 25, 30 yards out. Volley, top bins. I'm just thinking, this is Wayne Rooney to the T. Like,
Yeah.
you're upset, you're vexed, take it out on a football, and you end up scoring an absolute worldie. Like, it's just, just. And then on top of that, you're still
Beefing. Yeah.
angry at the ref. You're still giving the ref all sorts of abuse, saying, what are you doing? Like, it's just, classic goal from a classic player. I know as he got older, maybe 28, 29, he slowed down. And he wasn't quite the demon that we had seen at 22, 23, 24. But yeah, his body of work speaks for itself. Manchester United all-time top scorer, England's all-time top scorer until Kane surpassed him. Yeah, man, just absolute legends of the game. We're never going to see that type of player again. Like, just all action, all energy, but still had the technical ability to do the unthinkable at times, man. So yeah, and then obviously the intelligence, because as he got older, dropped into midfield, started playing more as a box-to-box midfielder, then conducting. He could pass with the best of them. Nothing. Listen, all-round player, man. Top player, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, no, listen, I echo. So that's everybody's top 5. Listen, at home, obviously, message us, let us know what you think about that. Listen, we've got some honorary members who they didn't really make it into our top 5. There must be people screaming at home. Look, obviously, Ruud van Nistelrooy was on a complete madness. Like him or loathe him, you knew he'll score, and you weren't surprised. There's a few plays you think, I'm not surprised this guy's going to score. Nasty goals as well. Good finishes. I remember probably his best goal for me was the one against Fulham, because I just didn't think he had it in his locker to be running.
When he ran.
Oh, to be running. Yeah.
Running, yeah.
So that was phenomenal. Ian Wright as well, another striker who, listen, boy, I loved Ian Wright. He was, people talk about good old English centre forwards. He was just a hybrid of just the finishes, the chips, like the confidence, just to come in late as well. He came into the game quite late, top and gets his moves to Arsenal, and just so happened to obviously win a Premier League title. Obviously, he's won 2 FA Cups and a League Cup as well. He was phenomenal. Robbie Fowler.
Pre-injury, yeah.
Probably one of the sweetest left foots. I think there's 2 that's probably got the best left foots in terms of the centre forwards. One was Robbie Fowler, and another one which used to be Edward's favourite player.
Who?
Robin van
Persie.
Yeah. But
begrudgingly, I'm still not over what he done, but you have to go and live your life, and your career's short, so
what a centre forward, man.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
Robin van Persie, bad boy.
He was. The other one, which was for a short period of time, and because he's in the press, was Michael Owen before he got those injuries. 20 when he came in, and I don't know if you've seen his interviews recently.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, he's made some fair points, but he got the golden boot at 17 and 18.
And then 18.
Yeah, and then what he did with England. So that, I know it was a very, very short period of time, and it's a shame what could have been. But when he came on the scene, you were like, no, who's this kid?
Wonder kid, for real.
He was a real wonder kid. Yeah, he was a real wonder kid. But English, and shame what happened to him.
The injuries mashed him up.
Yeah, I know he won't make him because there's been players with bigger body of work, but ability-wise, he was going to be scared. It's a shame what happened to him.
I think with Owen, I watched it as well, and look, phenomenal striker talent.
Still scored 150, still up there. Still scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, no, he did.
He had changed his game, but it was just that that guy when
that burst of pace, the finish.
Yeah.
When
When he killed us in the FA Cup in 2001.
Yeah.
Just
one in the game.
So quick. 118 goals for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Look, he's obviously we've got Andy Cole. And we have to talk about him. He was fantastic striker, Andy Cole. Les Ferdinand, when you talk about late league, strikers, Jermaine Defoe. I mean, these are was so yeah. I mean, look, the modern day ones, even as he hasn't been here as long enough, but what Erling Haaland has achieved so far in his short spell there, it's great.
But it's all said and done. He's definitely top 10 Haaland. Isak might have a shout to get top 10 if he continues the way he's going.
I think Haaland will do with the numbers he's putting up. Right, he says for a couple more years, even. He'll be up there.
Jamie Vardy.
That's the in there, man. You know what I mean?
The story as well, like a modern day Ian Wright, like.
That's true, and what he's achieved as well from Fleetwood Town, wasn't it?
Fleetwood Town,
yeah. It's mad that you see some of the players, and we've also been blessed in this country with we talk about Didier Drogba, didn't score as many goals as some others, but
I think he got one golden boot, didn't he?
One golden boot, and Elko got a
his impact on the team was immense, and at certain point he was unplayable, wasn't it? Especially when he came against Arsenal.
Listen, he moved to us.
Yeah,
I was glad to see the back of him when he left, man. He used to crash on us all the time.
I think Nicholas Anelka as well. I mean,
Nico,
I mean, the top goal scorer for Chelsea's
Chelsea. He got golden boot as well.
2010. And then, I was just watching back some of the Arsenal goals, the 2 seasons at Arsenal, and I'm like, this boy is
that made different.
Man.
Just, do you know what the better goals were though? Not in the 98 double winning. It was actually that 99. The goals. I was just thinking, oh my, honestly, just a phenomenon. Obviously, you had Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank, Dwight York.
Jimmy Floyd,
Berbatov was a bad boy. He was a bad boy, man.
Tevez for a little period. Torres for a little period.
Yeah, and even if we forget Bergkamp, if you think about it, at the start, he was played in the 10, but because he used to play 2 up top, then isn't it?
He's done it again by you. I mean, this is the cousin. That's it now.
Well, he's a striker. He's played up top.
Come on, take him. Take him out.
We're talking about. They just allow me a problem, Charles.
This guy is. He
played up top. He played up top, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he did. When he first signed. Well, he's not really known.
Played up top.
You're old enough, Nabe. You're old enough, Nabe. You know this. You remember these days.
Was Ian Wright in number 10? Was he? I thought.
No, he played 8 up front with Ian Wright. I mean, you obviously, you can't remember these sort of things, but he was up playing up top.
I thought he was. I just put no. Don't get me wrong. They played, but I would put Eric Cantona.
No, Cantona played in the whole sort of role to Bergkamp. So there you go. So,
but to be fair, you're lawn to yourself, man. I can't control you. Like, Mavericks, isn't it?
Just besmirched me left, right, center with this.
What more can I to do that? But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. Obviously, make sure you do hit us up and see who you kind of thought was your sort of top 10. It's so
different.
Let us know in
the comments, lads. Let us know in the comments.
But it also shows how many good strikers we had back in the day, like compared to now, in terms of strikers or in the league. It was ridiculous.
But Naeem, let me ask you first, and I'll ask Ed.
Sure.
How many of those were world class?
What about top 5?
Just the
Well, our top 5 or just
the strikers that we've named in the Premier League. 1 would I say world class, and 2 would make it into the top 5 or 10 of Europe's best.
So at a point, Van Persie, Henry obviously, Kane definitely.
Yeah, Shearer.
It's weird with Shearer, man.
Suarez, yes, because Suarez was in my top 5. So
Aguero. There's a few man that would that were world class. I don't know about where they would rank all time in Europe's best and stuff, but there's a couple guys that defo, Wayne Rooney. I say Wayne Rooney, Henry obviously, Kane, Shearer, Van Persie, Aguero. So maybe those
and Suarez. I'd throw Suarez in that group.
Oh, Suarez,
yeah. You know what's so mad about it? Because Nine, you mentioned the Michael Owen sit down with Rio. I wonder what he would say, because he did make that comment about about Wayne Rooney, which I found hilarious.
He smiled, didn't he? Yeah, he was quite funny. Yeah.
He just says, "Oh, at that age," he didn't actually say your career in totality. He just said, "At that."
That's all he could do. But he was quite open about it, though, wasn't he? About being 21 and saying that's my career, sort of.
This is it. I wonder what Aguero would say to him if he said, "Yeah, I think that I was better." Like, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's interesting, yeah.
They're all competitive, man. They're all competitive. They love it. I remember when Henri was on the Gary Lineker, Shearer, and This Is Football show.
Yes.
And he said, "Listen, Alan, if I stayed longer, that record, I was gonna break it." He told him, he said, "Listen, Alan, I was there. If I stayed in England longer, that 260 would have been moved to." So they're all on it. They're all on it with each other.
All on it. It's true. I did. You know what? It was quite a good interview with Owen. If on that point, it's definitely.
Owen has always been very straightforward.
Yeah,
very super confident and stuff like that. But it's just, I just wondered. Yeah, it'll be interesting to think what Harry with. I know the age. I think that's what comes into it with Owen, isn't it? You say at that age, what he achieved. But you look at Harry Kane, and you just think, and you look at Aguero and think, boy, because look, 18 league goals won you a golden boot.
Yeah, now you have to lick 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had 2 up front at that time. These strikers are hitting 30 and they're playing up front by themselves.
Yeah, but a golden boot is a golden boot. I know it's true, but what
you
said was right.
On it. Same with that Ballon d'Or. Let's not forget.
Ballon d'Or. And I know defenders are harder to score against. I hear that. But I'm saying 18, these are Ollie Watkins numbers.
Now,
now. But we could, and then we go into another show. We're moving from the next one about defenders. But
Ed, nasty work for me, innit? Top.
Different centre backs.
You're a nasty you.
You know that top 5 we discussed, yeah? Look at the centre backs of this guy.
No, I'm saying you was playing up front. No,
pepper on the egg, isn't it? This guy, I know he
made a fair point when he said that. Yeah, I miss playing up front with someone. No, these guys, these centre forwards that are licking 30, they're not playing up front with anyone else. They have got the 2 wingers.
You know what the best said? The best said, "Drop it out, family. Drop it out."
I mean, 18 in the league. Yeah, you know what I mean? No, I'm only being
oh dear.
Grab that back Owen, It's not golden boot, but it's only 18. Like,
it's only 18.
Out, family.
I'm just being. Look, people say the defending was harder back then and stuff like that, but men lie, women lie, numbers don't, man. You know what I mean? Like 18. But no, it was a very good interview, man. But yeah, I'm just putting that out there, boys. That's what the golden boot. That's what you had to score to win that golden boot back then.
Ballon d'Or as well. It's not.
See, you know what?
I don't know why.
Nasty, but what's going on? Certain men are walking around with no Ballon d'Ors. Yeah. You've got Nedved and
yeah.
It's all a farce.
This is what I'm trying to say. Look, Thierry Henry. He's won the World Cup with France. He's come back. He's won the Euros. He's won the Champions League with
Barca.
With Barcelona. He won the treble with them. He's won the double. He won the double in 2002. The Premier League and the Cup. And Michael Owen walks away with a Ballon d'Or for winning the UEFA Cup and this is what I'm trying to say. Pavel Nedved,
that was the biggest skill. That was the biggest skill. That one.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the Ballon d'Or, they just didn't want Thierry Henry to win that, man. Full stop.
What was Drogba? It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Yeah.
Disgrace. But guys, definitely hit us up on the Insta. Hit us up in the comments on it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let us know who your top 5 is. We will be back with more Offside Chat, man. Peace.